Howdy folks and welcome to Brain Rotters. We got a new set photo for Spider-Man No Way Home that teases the introduction of Miles Morales into the MCU, and with that, the inclusion of the Sinister Six is teased as well. We gotta talk about it, so stay with me. So the set photo itself sees Spider-Man wearing his Spider-Man Far From Home suit, meeting up with Doctor Strange at the Sanctum Sanctorum, where I presume Doctor Strange lets him stay just while the world is searching for Peter Parker, and that's where these photos come from with the Spidey crew in the Sanctum. This set photo is the prelude to that interaction. Anyway, inside the Spider-Man 3 set photo, we see a truck that says the word Feast written on the back of it. If you don't know, Feast is an organization from the Spider Man PS4 game from a few years ago. It's a not-for-profit that Peter worked for in the game and that Aunt May basically ran as well. It essentially provided the needs for the homeless in New York City. Only later in the game does Miles Morales eventually join the organization in volunteer work. But the cause for Miles in the game to join Feast was that his hero dad was killed by Mr. Negative, and Aunt May encouraged Peter to include Miles in their good cause to help, ease that grief. Now, the MCU can change this up a bit. The MCU can see Miles Morales already working for Feast, maybe before Doctor Strange and Peter Parker is homeless because he can't stay with Aunt May. That would just endanger her more, so he's on his own. Maybe he goes to the homeless shelter that, since, the whole world knows he's Spider-Man, he dons a disguise or something to enter Feast. Who knows? All we know is that eventually we will have to see in the movie, actually take us to Feast at some point. Whatever the case on how we get there, we can see Miles Morales there, and in a way, that's when Miles Morales gets the spider bite and becomes Spider-Man. Hey, you made it this far, you might as well subscribe if you're new, as well as hitting that bell for notifications so you don't miss another video just like this one. This cameo will be Miles' Spider-Man cameo from Civil War, meaning it's in Spider-Man 3 No Way Home that we meet Miles Morales. Miles somehow gets his powers, and that launches him into his own either Spider-Man Disney Plus series or Spider-Man Miles Morales movie trilogy. Who's to say that Tom Holland isn't just killed off at the end of the film and Miles takes up the mantle just like his comic book self on Miles' Earth? Now for Feast being in Spider-Man No Way Home, setting up the Sinister Six for the film. Feast, if you don't know, was run by this guy, Mr. Negative, when he wasn't busy being a bad guy, being Martin Lee. Meaning this movie's roster of villains could include the confirmed Electro, Doc Ock, and unofficially confirmed Mysterio, Vulture, and Scorpion, and now maybe even Mr. Negative can end up being in this movie as either its big bad, depending on how big of a role Feast actually does have in the Spider-Man No Way Home movie, because for all we know, this could just be a Feast truck in the background of the film as an Easter egg. So, what do you folks take from the Feast truck? Let me know all your implications on it. What are your opinions? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day.